live.
Oh, is this thing on? I don't care. I want him to hear.
This is the Pregame Show, your early morning shot of sports on 95.7 The Game.
Come on!
Oh, that's mean. Who did that? That's a legend right there, John Sterling. He had a legendary call last night. Voice of the New York Yankees, who are basically done. I'm watching the Red Sox doc now on Netflix. Just started the first episode about the 04 World Series team being down 3-0 in the ALCS. Do the Yankees have some of that magic in them against the Dodgers? I'm sure a lot of Giants fans are hoping that. But I don't see that happening. They look slow. They look lost at the plate. The Dodgers are gaining all the momentum, and they're striking early. So welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the Pregame Show. Joe Spadoni, you got me for the next hour. And we're going to get into the 49ers. We're going to get into the Warriors. The latest on Steph Curry. Steve Kerr, head coach of the Golden State Warriors, joined Willard and Dibbs yesterday, broke down all the injury concerns pertaining to Golden State. Curry going to be reevaluated on Friday with a ligament strain in his ankle. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. D'Anthony Melton also going to be out, back strain. And Andrew Wiggins likely not going to play tonight against the New Orleans Pelicans on the front end of a back-to-back. Both games at Chase Center, both games against the Pelicans. A little mini baseball series, if you will. So we'll get into that. The 49ers into the bye week. And there was a lot of optimism yesterday, a lot more than I think I have for the San Francisco 49ers season. I want to dive into that too. But I did want to start with the World Series because that was the biggest game last night. And miss me. And God love you if you were watching the Steelers and Giants. I'm sure a lot of people were because it's football. You were promised NFL football, and you were going to watch NFL football, even if that was a regular series game against two teams that are just gross to watch offensively. Defensively, hey, I love me some TJ Watt, a hell of a player. But my God, the field goals. And I saw Russ had a great pass. Oh, best pass of the year. But it's still just like watching paint dry, watching that Pittsburgh Steelers offense. And every single, it doesn't matter what the team they are playing is, it's going to be a game. They don't have normal games in Pittsburgh these days. It used to be, hey, you got Roethlisberger, you got Le'Veon Bell, you got Antonio Brown. They're fun offensively. They're going to take the deep shots. They're going to hit you defensively. They're going to get in your face. They're going to be physical. They're going to be fast. Now, they still have that on defense, but offense, gross. So, I was watching the World Series. And before I even really got a chance to sit down and relax, this happened.
It is a fastball. It's ripped down the line. It is gone. A fifth consecutive World Series game with a Freddie Freeman home run. And the Dodgers are on the board first in Game 3.
And that was it. They didn't look back. Got to a 4-0 lead. Yeah, Alex Verdugo hit that 2-run shot in the ninth with 2 outs. That was basically it. Yeah, great. And there you go. The Dodgers up 3-0 on the New York Yankees in a series we all thought was going to be fun. At least I did. I had the Dodgers in 6. I thought the Dodgers were the better team. They were the deeper team. I think there was a lot of New York East Coast bias when it came to a lot of people picking the Yankees, or people just didn't want to watch Shohei Ohtani get rewarded after the season he had, after the tumultuous offseason he had prior to it. People don't want to see the teams that spend all the money also get rewarded for spending more money than everyone else. That's the two teams right there. It's the Yankees and the Dodgers. What do you expect? One team, it looks like, has the depth, has the speed, has the power. The other one, that's what the Yankees were supposed to be synonymous for all this time. Strength, speed, power. No speed, no power, and no discernment at the plate. It's been ugly. If you're New York Yankees fan, it's been gross. And I think we were robbed as, the unbiased fans around here, the national fans, if you will. America was robbed of a good series. It's unfortunate. Now, can the Yankees do something? Can they make it a miraculous comeback? Can they turn it into a great series? I have my doubts. They haven't shown me anything thus far that signals to me that they're going to do anything. Now, if they're going to win a game, it's probably tonight, as the Dodgers go on a bullpen game. But you know what? The Dodgers bullpen has been so lights out. How could I bet against them? Right? The Dodgers bats have just been better than the Yankees bats too. So look for the Dodgers. If they get an early lead, they're going to try to sit on it and probably win. And by the way, the call of the game yesterday, as I played the little mini John Sterling. God love you, John.
And the break ball, there it goes. Deep left center field, and Teoscar is there to make the catch. Oh, did I get fooled on that? What with that swing and the ball majestically going to left field, Susan, I actually thought it was going to be out, and it wasn't close.
What did I do wrong?
God love him. He's an American icon, treasure, whatever you want to call him. The great John Sterling on the call. WFAN, Yankees Radio Network. All right. And thus concludes World Series talk on the pregame show.
Oh, did I get fooled on that?
Yeah, we all did. We all got fooled on this series, John. It's tough. You know what else is tough right
Yay!
now? No, that's not a yay. That's Sam Lubin playing that drop, and he is hiding through the pain right now of the Dodgers looking to sweep the New York Yankees. I thought he was going to wear like a Shohei Ohtani jersey today. That would be scary for him.
Yeah, that's not nice, man.
Yeah, no. Because we're doing our dress up today here as a station, because that's what you do, right? You don't do it actually on Halloween, although it's on a Thursday, so I don't know why are people not here on Thursdays? Is that why? No one's here? I mean, we're here every single day. I'd like everyone else to be here every single, but I guess they don't have to be, so that must be nice.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah. So I guess
sleep in, not be here. Ugh.
Yeah. So Tuesdays, I guess we're doing the dress up today, and you have to wait to see what Sam and I will be dressed up as, and Joe Shasky. And I don't know if Bonte Hill will be dressed up today. I don't know. Is he wearing, like a suit to be like a funeral director for the Warriors season about to be over with no Stephen Curry? I'm kidding. He's
going as TV Bonte today.
Yeah, TV Bonte. That'd be great. He kind of turned into TV Bonte in the last segment yesterday. He was calling out the 49ers fans. Hey, everything's fine. I'm feeling great. Are you? Are you feeling great, 49ers fans? Are you feeling great, Warriors fans? Great's a stretch. And I didn't feel great listening to Steve Kerr yesterday with Willard and Dibbs talk about Stephen Curry's injury.
He's going to miss the next couple of games, and we'll reevaluate him on Friday. So the good news is the MRI was pretty clear, and we don't expect this to be a long-term thing. So, I've been touting our depth the last few weeks in preseason, and, not only are we going to be without Steph, but we'll be without DeAnthony Melton and Wiggs tomorrow night. So a chance for that depth to get their opportunity, and I'm excited about that.
All right. So he's not too worried about it, but until I see him back in a regular season game in a Golden State Warriors uniform, I'm going to be a little concerned. That's just the nature of the beast. It's fine. You get reevaluated, and then sometimes, he's going to get reevaluated another week. And I'm not playing the game anymore of just, he'll be here when he's here. And focusing on tonight's game, and by the way, we'll have all that coverage tonight because, as you know, we are the home of Golden State Warriors basketball here at 95.7 The Game. Warriors taking on the Pelicans. Tip-off there starting at 7 o'clock. Warriors live with, I believe, the great Evan Giddings tonight at 6 o'clock. So be locked in there. 888-957-9570. That's the number to get locked in on the pregame show. 888-957-9570. Call or text the Comcast Business text line. Also hit us up on Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube, all powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Search 95.7 The Game on any of those platforms. Like and subscribe. Be sure to give me a follow at Spadoni_Joe on Twitter. Get me to 1,000 people. We got a couple months left in the year. I can get to 1,000, right? Come on. I'm at 937 right now. 63 more. We can get there. We can do it. I believe in you. I do. And one thing I do believe in, you always have these election cycles. I believe in this. I'm so-and-so, and I believe in this. I'm Joe Spadoni, and I believe I will get 1,000 followers before the year's over. That's the only thing on my ticket right now. That's it. And I swear to God, if I get another political text, I'm going to break my phone. I can't do it anymore. I can't, guys.
Got bad news for you, buddy.
Oh, my God. It's literally once an hour, it feels like. Hey, this is so-and-so from so-and-so. Yeah, stop. I've had to reply stop in all caps multiple times. It's driving me nuts, people. It is. I would rather be getting texted, I would rather the Comcast business text line be synced with my text messages and I'm getting takes about the 49ers and Warriors season than I'm getting about congressmen and women running for office. I'm even getting more confused. It's just I'm done. I'm out.
One more week, Joe.
Yeah, one more week. Yeah,
then it gets worse.
Yeah, exactly. Then half the country will be angry at the other half. But what it is what it is. That's just life these days. Am I right? But here's Steve Kerr again confirming Andrew Wiggins more than likely going to be out tonight.
Most likely not. Yeah, I mean, he's questionable right now. There's a good chance we keep him out. It's early in the season. We'll leave him as questionable, but I'm sort of planning to play without him.
All right. So no Melton, no Wiggs, no Curry tonight. What does that mean, Steve Kerr, about the rotation?
We have to lean into multiple guys. No one guy is going to replace him, obviously, but it probably means Brandon Pajemski and Moses Moody will both play more, and we're going to need Buddy shooting. We're going to probably get Lindy Waters out there, who's had a great camp and one of our best shooters. So we'll play it by ear, but we got a lot of guys, and I'm very confident they can get the job done.
So all that depth that a lot of Warriors fans have been touting early on, 3 games in, we're the deepest team in the league. We're going to see if they're the deepest team in the league. If you're the deepest team in the league, then you could absorb some of these absences, right? If you're the deepest team in the league, you can absorb them. Now, that being said, if you're losing your best player, that's difficult. If the Lakers lost LeBron James for a little bit, even with Anthony Davis, it would be difficult. If, the Celtics lost Jason Tatum for a little bit, it would be difficult, but that's where you lean on other guys like an AD, like a Jaylen Brown. Who are the Warriors going to lean on? No Melton, no Wiggs, no Curry. Pods? Is he ready to take that step? Moses Moody? See, this is kind of a double-edged sword when you talk about the depth. That's true. They do have a lot of depth of, I'd say, above-average players. Right? Yeah. Kyle Anderson, I'd say he's a rotational guy, but he hasn't played a lot. But when he's making plays, I'd say he's above average. Buddy Hield has been way more than above average from beyond the arc. He's been excellent. I would consider, Kumingas of the world, Moody's, Pajemski's above average. But above average isn't going to cut it. I need someone to be great tonight and tomorrow. Someone's got to step up and be great to get some wins, because you're going up against some great players still. I know there's no DeJounte Murray, right? He's out, fractured hand. He's going to be out for a couple months. But they got Zion Williamson, I should say. And they got Brandon Ingram. And those guys are capable on any given night of going off. Speaking of going off, did you see yesterday Paolo Banchero? We have 37 or 32 points, something ridiculous. 32 points through 2 quarters. They ended up with 50, but my God, guy's insane. Paolo, he's sick. Just sick. There's so much good young talent right now in the NBA. And again, that's why it sucks not having Wiggins, because he was actually one of your better scorers in these first 3 games. So no Steph, who's obviously your best player. No Wiggins, who is kind of playing like your second best player. Buddy Hield, shooting-wise. And then no Melton, who was getting after it offensively and defensively. So depth will be tested early on here in the Golden State Warriors season. We'll have all that coverage today, tomorrow, the rest of the week. Or they play Saturday after tomorrow. Play the Rockets starting that road trip. So coverage tonight starting at 6 o'clock. Warriors Live with E-Dog, Evan Giddings. Don't get it twisted. I gave him that nickname. I gave him E-Dog. I gave him that. Absolutely. All right. We can take your calls and text if you're worried about the Warriors early on in the season. If you're feeling great about the depth, that's fine. 888-957-9570. I do want to talk about the 49ers, though. And, talking about depth of the Warriors, depth of the 49ers has been tested absolutely early on in this season. And I can't say early on anymore because we're halfway through the season, basically. Getting into week 9. 49ers are on their bye. They're 4-4. They are an average football team by the definition. They are mediocre. They are 500. They're not great. They're not bad. They're But the depth has been tested. No Christian McCaffrey. No Dre Greenlaw. No Javon Hargrave. No Brandon Ayuk. It's been brutal. But they've weathered the storm here. And could they come out of this storm to sunny skies? To calming waters? You're going to Tampa Bay. And then things start to get a little interesting. And I thought more of Tampa Bay prior to the Mike Evans and Chris Godwin injuries. I mean, those are just two of the better wide receivers in football. You lose them, your offense just isn't going to be the same. Now, Baker's still slinging it at times, but he's also slinging it to the other team. The interceptions will be there for the 49ers. But we have all next week and all, these next 2 weeks to look into the Buccaneers. Not today. You got the Seahawks, you got the Packers, you got the Bills, you got the Bears, Rams, Dolphins, Lions, Cardinals remaining on the schedule. But a lot of calls yesterday were calling in, and a lot of texters on the Comcast Biz text line were texting in saying, yeah, I feel fine about the 49ers because of what they've done in the past. It was nothing about what they've done this season that gave them hope and gave them optimism. It is what they have done in the past under Kyle Shanahan. So they've been looking to that. Bonte referenced the numbers yesterday. Kyle Shanahan has a hell of a record the last few seasons in the months of November and December. It's great. It's awesome. You had Chris McCaffrey for a lot of those games. You had a healthy Brandon Ayuk for a lot of those games. You had a healthy defensive line for a lot of those games. I am not using this season, and I am not comparing past seasons to what the 49ers are currently going through right now. I refuse to do that. So if you have tangible evidence from this season that gives you hope, gives you optimism, I'd love to hear it for the 49ers. Because right now, I think Super Bowl expectations still is a little kind of out there. I don't see it. In fact, a successful season right now, given where the 49ers are injury-wise, given with what they've been dealing with, winning the division, hosting a playoff game, I'm okay with that. If that's what this season ends up being about, is just winning the division somehow, some way, you get your foot in the door and you can see what happens. But a successful season right now for San Francisco, given everything that's happened, all the injuries, just win the division. And I would think that would constitute a successful season. Now, I'm going to get a lot of heat for that. I'm going to get a lot of blowback. 888-957-9570 if you disagree. But I'm saying right now, win the division, it's a successful season. Right now, you're not a Super Bowl team. You're not a Super Bowl level team. You're not an NFC Championship level team. Now, I'm not going to say you're lucky because it's the NFL. Things happen. You dominated the division for the last few seasons, but the NFC West is going to be a dogfight, and no one is going to separate themselves, I don't really think, until the end of the year, if ever. The Seahawks, they're one of those teams that can beat anybody and lose to anybody. The Cardinals are one of those teams. Hell, the Rams are one of those teams. I look at this division, the NFC West, Niners, Seahawks, Cardinals, Rams. Every single one of those teams has the ability to lose / beat any other team in the league. I can't say that for all the teams in the NFL, but I can't say those teams are actually good if that's the case, because good teams find ways to beat bad teams. They do. Now, the 49ers have not lost to a bad team this season. They haven't. They also, I wouldn't say have beaten a good team. So that's this, again, this kind of balance of a season so far. It's hard for me to be optimistic about what I have seen this season. I get it. A lot of people are going to look for past seasons through the lens of these past seasons. We'll see what Kyle Shanahan did here. Oh, we're going to go on a run after this bye. I heard a lot of that yesterday. We're primed to go on a run. What about the win over the Cowboys signals to you that this team is primed to go on a run here, on a regular season winning streak? What about that win showed that to you? Was it the third quarter? Yeah, they went on a 21-0 run. 21-0. 21 points unanswered, boom, like that. Took a 3-score lead into the fourth quarter. And then what happened? Tried to give the game away. You refused to cover CeeDee Lamb for God knows why. I mean, he's their only offensive threat. Yeah, and I mean that. I'm not including Dak Prescott. He's their only offensive threat, and you couldn't double team him one time? One time for the one time? Even in their wins for the 49ers, I'm not satisfied. I'm not. And you could say a win is a win is a win. Yeah, but not for the 49ers. And I don't think for their fans. I think you were just relieved about the win, but you didn't feel good about it. That's two different things. I feel relieved that we won, relief, and I can relax on this bye week as a football fan, and I don't have to worry about them for a little bit. They could be out of sight, out of mind. See, I shouldn't have to feel like that about my team. I should be looking forward to their next game. Are you looking forward to their game in Tampa Bay? East Coast trip, early start time. Are you looking forward to their start against the Seahawks? Maybe against those teams. Maybe you feel you're better than them. How much better are they than the Buccaneers? Say slightly. I think they are just better than the Seahawks. They just have ownage against them. They do. And they've had ownage against the Buccaneers as of late, too. Specifically, Tom Brady, Brock Purdy, his first home start ever as a San Francisco 49ers quarterback was against the Bucs. He beat up Bucs again last season. That was a tight game. It was. And then things get interesting. So you take care of business there, potentially 6-4, okay. But I'm looking to see those cold weather games with Brock Purdy. See what he's made of. In the likes of Lambeau Field. In the likes of Buffalo, New York, when it's December. Gets chilly out there, folks. Gets chilly. It's starting to get chilly here in the Bay, too. I love it. I love that crisp fall air. When I'm on my scooter at 4 a.m. through the streets of San Francisco. And yes, there are some smells you don't want to smell, but then you get the pockets. Although, I got to be honest, whenever I scooter past Noah's Bagels over on the corner, God, they're like baking those blueberry muffins so damn early, and it just that thing just wafts into the air, and they smell so damn good. So good. I guess they're not muffins. I guess they would be blueberry bagels. They have muffins there too? I don't know. I digress. Kyle Shanahan. Christian McCaffrey going to be ready for the Bucs game?
It depends how this week goes. I mean, he's had no setbacks, so it looks like we're on track. But he's going to hit it hard this week while we're gone and kind of simulate some practice stuff for himself. And as long as it all goes good, hopefully we'll get him back in practice next week.
Kyle, on his weekly media conference call, how hard has it been for CMC not to go out there and give it his all?
I think it was tough at first, when we, did it in training camp, and then felt like he was going to be ready for week one. And then after we decided to put him on the IR, I think it's been pretty easy. that's why we did decide to do that. So we knew it was going to be at least a month and shut him down for a while, and now build him up slowly. And things have been going well. So now it's going to be nice to get him back, hopefully.
What are you expecting from Christian McCaffrey? Are you still expecting this guy to come back and be his offensive player of the year caliber self, an MVP candidate kind of a guy? Do you expect that from one Christian McCaffrey? Are you saying anything we get from him is gravy at this point? 888-957-9570 is the number. Good morning to all you lovely people just getting off work, getting ready for work, getting ready for school. It's the pregame show. Joe Spadoni. We're going to take a quick break here. Come on back. One segment down, two more to go. The 49ers. I need a reason why you're optimistic about this season. I need a tangible reason to be optimistic about this team this season. I need, whether it's Christian McCaffrey coming back, I can't have anything from the previous seasons. I can't use any of that previous history on this year's team right now. If you're trying to sell me on why this team is still a contender, I would love to hear it. Because right now, I think a successful season in San Francisco, given everything that's happened, is winning the division. That is what you should be looking at, 49ers fans. Win the division in a tough year, when you lost to your best wide receiver and best running back potentially. Hey. Brock Purdy's earned a payday, I'll tell you that. If he wins this division this season, given everything that's going on, absolutely. And he's going to get paid, believe me. He's going to get paid. 888-957-9570 is the number as the pregame show. Joe Spadoni rolls on 95.7 The Game.
How's your home handling hot and chilly weather these days? For a comfortable home, you should...
Nation, it's Buddy Hill. You're listening to Pregame Show with Joe Spadoni on 95.7 The Game.
I'm not your buddy, guy. Thanks, Buddy Hield. He'll be in action tonight. Warriors Pelicans right here on 95.7 The Game. We'll have to call the great Tim Roy will be on there. 7 o'clock tip. 6 o'clock, though, you're locked into Warriors Live with our very own E-Dog Evan Giddings, who will get you prepared for the game. No Steph, no Melton, and probably no Andrew Wiggins. The depth will be tested. That is a fact. The 49ers' depth has been tested already this season. No Ayuk, no Christian McCaffrey, no Javon Hargrave, no Dre Greenlaw. It's been a lot of problems and a lot of revolving doors around different positions. But through all that, they're 4-4 heading into the bye week. How are we feeling? 888-957-9570. I asked the question, give me something that the 49ers have shown you this season to give you some hope and optimism that they could turn this thing around, that they could go on a legit championship type of run. Because right now, the goal should be, and the high watermark of this season should be, to win the division. Everything after that would be gravy for me if I'm a San Francisco 49ers fan. If I win the division this year with all the things considered, Brock Purdy's stats might not look as good as last season's, but if he somehow, some way, elevates others around him, if he raises the game of a Ricky Pearsall, because that was another thing that we were questioning. Could Brock Purdy elevate others around him? Well, right now, seems like he's helping Ricky Pearsall. It seems like they found something. Wasn't an amazing stat line, but I saw some flashes. His synergy right now with his tight end, George Kittle, is all-time. I mean, Kittle looking like the best tight end in football. He was last year, and he's looking like that this year. Deebo Samuel getting involved in the passing game. He's got an injured rib, so we'll see on that. But even that, I was very impressed with the bounce back of Brock Purdy in that second half, because the first half he was looking a little shaky. Not going to lie. It was not looking great. He was throwing behind his receivers. Didn't look comfortable. And again, this was a game they should have dominated throughout. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys, they didn't have their two best defensive players on the D-line. And DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons, they weren't playing. You got Trayvon Diggs arguing with fans. They arguing with reporters. I don't know what he's doing. He was talking some smack on the sideline with Kyle Shanahan. I remember that. And he's worried about the game. God, too many of these players, these secondary players, talking with the fans, talking with the players. Focus on the damn game. God. Kyle Shanahan, a weekly media conference call yesterday, talking about an area where a lot of 49ers fans have been struggling with, and the team itself has been struggling with. It's the special teams. It has not been special. Just call it the 49ers teams group. Because Shannon, how are you feeling about your special teams?
Yeah, we evaluate special teams every week, so there's not a lot that you're going to do a lot different in the bye. We could add one more game to what we've been evaluating throughout it all. I have no concerns with Brian Schneider, if that's what you mean by that. I think that's what you're implying, and that hasn't entered my head at all. No, that hasn't entered my head at all. I thought I was proud of us last night. I thought we were up against a huge challenge. I thought our guys played real hard and did a real good job controlling Turbin, who is one of the bigger game changers in this game. I think we've dealt with a lot of stuff on special teams, a lot of changing of people, a lot of young guys starting out to play who we've lost and having to replace them with new guys, and working with a lot of different people. And I expect us to get better with that throughout the year. I know it hasn't been good enough in this first half, not at all. But I thought last night was a step in the right direction, and you're going to get better or worse from that, and I expect us to get better.
Kyle Shanahan yesterday, I'm just laughing at some of the things we're seeing on our TV screen about certain presidential candidates. I was just telling the guys in the back, it's hard not to get distracted sometimes. I'm going to do my best not to here. We're a week away from election day here. So yeah, go out and vote. Do that. That's all I'm going to say. That's my PSA for everyone. All the NFL PSAs, go out and vote. Go do that. All right. Kyle Shanahan, what are you going to be doing in your free time? Are you going to be looking at all the different text messages you've been receiving? God, I swear to God, did I get one already during that quick break. Did I get another text? Let me check. Did I get that? Who do I want to vote for the next BART director? I don't know. All right? I just please. Kyle Shanahan, what are you going to be doing on the bye? What's the schedule going to be looking like for you?
Yeah, we have a long day today, just evaluating all this stuff, putting this game to bed. We get our exciting team photo that we have to do for semantics once a year. Then tomorrow we'll come in. They'll have a big workout with Dustin, our strength conditioning coach. We'll get a big lift in, a big run. Then we'll break up and we'll meet some more. We'll have a team meeting. And then we got to do some NFL video guidelines that they like that we all need to knock out and finish. And then I'll let them get away. We finish Tuesday afternoon. They get about 5 days off, and we come back and we get extra practice on Monday. Coaches work through a few more days on a couple things, but we all get a little bit of a break from each other and come back ready for this grind that's ahead of us.
888-957-9570. Have the 49ers earned the benefit of the doubt when it comes to slow starts to the season? Are you not worried? Are you not concerned? Are you looking like, you know what, in Kyle I trust? Have they earned that right for you to, you know what, give them this first 8 games of the season and say, I still think they got a run in them? Or are you like me saying, this season's different? There's something about this season that's just it's off. Whether it was the hold-ins, whether it was the holdouts, whether it was the vibe around camp, whether it was the vibe early on in the season, the loss to the Vikings, the loss to the Rams, the loss to the Cardinals, the loss to the... I didn't even feel good about the last win. I couldn't even feel good about that. You couldn't even hang on. I would like to enjoy a stress-free win. You got one of those early on in the season against the Jets. Then you got one against the New England Patriots. But even that game got a little like, Patriots, and they stink. So the 2 wins you do have that were relatively stress-free were against teams that might be the worst in football. Literally. The Jets are an absolute dumpster fire. My God. Yeah. Gee. You got Throw Rogan over as their quarterback. Aaron Rodgers. He's still throwing everyone else under the bus? He's not taking. Is it still the media's fault, Aaron? That the New York Jets aren't doing too good? You're 2-6? Yeah, it's New York Daily Post's fault. It's the Times' fault. Yeah, it's them. It's not the fact that you brought in your favorite wide receiver ever in Devontae Adams and you seem to just not want to throw him the ball. Or when you do throw him the ball, he just doesn't catch it. Drops it. Devontae's had some dropsies this season. It's also just, been on bad teams. But hey, you wanted to go to this team. Hell, the other team was linked to, the Saints. They're also 2-6. Yikes. Oof. All right. Last one here. Because this is the guy that really makes the straw stir on the defense. Yes, Fred Warner. Yes, Nick Bosa. But the energy valve, the energy unit of that San Francisco 49ers defense is Dre Greenlaw. Haven't seen him since the Super Bowl when he ran out on the field, tore his Achilles, brutal. We know what happened after that. Travis Kelce went berserk. Mahomes, he found that connection back with Travis, and it was all she wrote. And they really missed Dre Greenlaw. His presence, his fire, his energy, getting into it, going at guys like Big Dom. What's his timetable?
No, I mean, we talk about a lot of stuff, and he's working through it, but I hate to give a rough timeline for you guys because we're not exactly sure of it. I think it's, once we get back from this bye week, I think he's going to be about week to week deciding whether we should get him back in the practice deal or not. But we'll see how this next week goes. We'll see when we get back from the bye week, and I think once it gets past the bye week, then we'll be looking each week on whether we should bring him back or not because it is getting closer.
That would be huge. Just getting a guy like him and his presence back within this team. And I don't know what he's going to look like. That's another thing in all this. Like, you would like to think that he's going to be the same player, but Achilles are just so different. When your game is predicated on size, speed, strength, athleticism, and being fast, like that's the thing with Dre Greenlaw. He's fast. Him and Fred Warner are fast. You're coming off an Achilles. How fast are you going to be? Even if it's a step slower, like that's noticeable. That's the difference between a third and short stop and then a third and short first down. Extends the chains. You get more and more tired. Like, that's something you got to monitor and something you got to think about. Now, I know Niners fans are saying, I don't care, get Devondre Campbell off this team. Devondre Campbell made some plays last week, albeit against a bad Cowboys team, but made some plays nonetheless. So he gets a pass from me this week. 888-957-9570. Are you giving the 49ers a pass so far this season? 888-957-9570. 2 segments down, 1 more to go before handing it off to Bonte Hill and Joe Shasky, and they got a locked and loaded guest list. I'll tease that for you guys on the other side as well. It's all coming up next on the pregame show. Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game.
Shane Company knows fine jewelry. That means a lot when you're looking for a dream engagement ring, a beautiful keepsake, or the perfect gift. Come see us in store and compare our wide selection of diamonds.
Pregame Show with Joe Spadoni on 95.7 The Game.
Welcome back. We're rolling. 2 segments down, one more to go. Talk Warriors, we talk World Series, we talk 49ers. Talking everything. It's a beautiful day in sports. It was a sports equinox yesterday where you had all the sports playing. Everything, everywhere, all at once. You had hockey, you had baseball, you had basketball, you had football, you had soccer. You had it all yesterday. What did they have? The Ballon d'Or yesterday? The best soccer player in the world. That's their award, if you will. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Ballon d'Or, Ballon d'Or. It's French, so apologies. But everyone goes to Paris. You're traveling. You sit there. You had, the award. And it was Rodri. Did he win it? Rodri of Man City. People are upset. Thought a certain player from Real Madrid should have won. But, Man City had a hell of a year. I mean, my guy, Lamine Yamal. I think, did he get like the best young player or whatever it is? Because they have like the levels to that. But the 17-year-old from Spain, he's unreal. He should have been the winner. I mean, what he's been able to do with Barcelona, with the Spanish national team, winning the Euros, winning everything, guy's unreal. Sure, the stats don't back up what I'm saying, but you know what? My knowledge is somewhat limited still. I don't watch as much La Liga as I would like. More English Premier League, more Serie A, because my guy Christian Pulisic has been balling for AC Milan. Best player right now in Serie A is an American. Huh. You love to see it. You really do.
Oh, did I get fooled on that?
That was all of Italy, right? They didn't expect that. They didn't expect the best player in their country right now to be from Pennsylvania.
Oh, did I get fooled on that?
Yeah. We all did, John. We all did. Actually, I didn't. I've always been Team Pulisic. Always. I need to get me an AC Milan jersey. Maybe that's what I want on my Christmas list. There you go. I'll ask Santa for it. But we got Halloween coming up in a couple days. 888-957-9570. This 49ers has been more of a trick than a treat, if we're using that analogy, that reference. It's been a mixed bag of goodies. Some good, some bad. Just Brock Purdy's looked great. He's looked bad. Kyle Shanahan, his offensive play callings looked great. It's looked bad. Special teams has really just looked bad. The defense, at times, has looked great. At times, has not looked great. It's been what you would expect a 500 team to look like. And again, I'm just asking the question. What have they shown you this season? What tangible evidence has they shown you this season that gives you hope and belief that they could turn this thing around? Now, we do have sound from Kyle Shanahan talking about Christian McCaffrey being ready for the Bucs game potentially. Let's listen to him one more time. Is this why you're getting more excited?
It depends how this week goes. I mean, he's had no setbacks, so it looks like we're on track. But he's going to hit it hard this week while we're gone and kind of simulate some practice stuff for himself. And as long as it all goes good, hopefully we'll get him back in practice next week.
Get Christian McCaffrey back in practice. Get him in games again. Yes, that would give me some hope. But how was he going to look? See, I don't even know how he's going to look. And this is an injury that we have been told from many doctors, Dr. Narav Pandya, UCSFL, Dr. Brian Feely, you can feel great one day and then horrible the next day. This is something that's just going to be a part of him going forward. And he's already getting older. That's the thing with this. It's not like he's a spring chicken. He's 28. That's older in running back years. Hell, the fact that we have Derrick Henry at 30 years old doing what he's doing still is incredible. He's the exception to the rule. That doesn't usually happen. You don't get better as a running back as you get older. You get worse. I mean, Brian Baldinger is going to join the guys at 7:30, our 95.7 The Game NFL Insider. He's been on this. The amount of touches that guys have when they eclipse 400 plus touches in a given season, the following season just you see a tremendous drop-off. It's just the wear and tear of the position is just a grind on the player. And Christian McCaffrey in particular. You look at what he did last year, it was amazing. It was unbelievable. It takes a toll. And what are we going to expect from him this year? Is he going to be on a snap count? Is he going to be on limited? Like, do you have to even limit the touches that you were already limit or had planned to limit heading into the season? Because remember, Kyle Shanahan talked about that heading into the year. He was talking about, we need to limit his touches. We need to make sure, situations in a given game, fourth quarter, if he shouldn't be in there, stuff like that. That's great. But now you're kind of in a position where you need Christian McCaffrey. Like, it'd be one thing if you were rolling without him and Jordan Mason and Guerendo were a 1-2 punch and it's like, everything's all great. And you're, 7-1 or 6-2. You know what? Take all the time you need, Christian. We're good. But you're 4-4 right now. And you're an injury away from really testing that depth again. Hell, you're already testing the depth at wide receiver. And you've tested it at running back. And thankfully, Jordan Mason has been one of the better running backs in the NFL. Hell, Isaac Guerendo, he's been a revelation. That's a rookie that's hit. Finally, for Kyle Shanahan, a rookie that he's drafted relatively early as a running back. It's, it's no Trey Sermon. It's no Davis Price. Hey, Isaac Guerendo looks like a player. Could he be a player in the passing game as well, Kyle Shanahan?
Yeah, I mean, I think very similar to JP also in that. I mean, no one's Christian in terms of the passing game, but neither one of them are guys that can't run routes and can't be linebackers, and they both have good hands. So it's something that he is decent at now and something that he should get better at as he continues to work.
So maybe utilize him more in the passing game going forward. But again, if Christian McCaffrey is going to be taking all those touches, as you would assume, because if he comes back, then you got McCaffrey, then you got Mason, Guerendo, you would think is going to be used not as much. But I don't know. Do they go three-headed monster? There are so many more questions than answers when it comes to this 49ers roster right now, which is still in the back of my mind. Not to say you can't be, optimistic. I'm not telling you can't be optimistic. I'm not that guy. All right? I'm not that guy, pal. I'm not. I always try to have an optimistic outlook or approach on many things. Some of my sports teams don't allow me to do that, but I try anyways. I try. And if you're a 49ers fan and you're looking at previous years and in Kyle I trust, by all means, you can feel that way. I just like to deal a little bit more in the reality of a current season and not doing, the sugarcoating of what we've actually seen. And what we've actually seen for the 49ers this year has just been inconsistent.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You can sit here and do a sugarcoat job.
Thanks, Joe. Not going to do that. But would I be surprised if they were 6-4 in a couple weeks here, beating the Bucs and the Seahawks? No, I would not be. Would I be surprised if they're 5-5 and they split those games? Nope. I wouldn't be. Because that's what I've come to expect from 49ers this year. Even in the wins, I haven't felt great about them. It's like, oh, there they are. They're back. They're back. Like Cornelius Fudge when he realized Voldemort had returned. He's back. Yeah, I haven't felt that from the 49ers. Maybe I'll see that against the Bucs heading out. Because after the bye last year, remember, this team was on a 3-game losing streak. You had lost to the likes of the Cleveland Browns with P.J. Walker. Kirk Cousins diced you up. He looked so damn comfortable. We had the cover zero blitz heard around the world with Steve Wilkes losing to the Vikings. Then he had the loss to the Cincinnati Bengals where Brock didn't look all that great. He had a bad fumble, bad pick. And then what did you do after the bye? They came out and they kicked the Jaguars' ass. Absolutely eviscerated Trevor Lawrence and co. Just destroyed them. The Jags were playing well at that time too. And that kind of not ended their season, but I didn't look at the Jags the same way after that. And they kind of just faded down there as the Texans rose, and the Colts rose. The Jags faded after that loss. After the Niners kicked the Eagles' ass, the Eagles faded after that. I'm looking for that swagger from the 49ers I have not seen all season long. A lot of that's Dre Greenlaw. A lot of that's Christian McCaffrey. Will that swagger return solely because those guys are coming back potentially? I'm not sure. Is the production going to match what they did last year? That's a lot to ask. So no, probably, considering they're going to be coming back halfway or more than halfway through the season's over, through the regular season, I should say. So a lot of questions, but they'll have time to revamp, retool, refocus. And 49ers fans, take the couple weeks off, do the same, revamp, retool, refocus, and watch some Warriors basketball, who again are playing tonight against the New Orleans Pelicans. The front end of a back-to-back, both games at Chase Center. Tip-off at 7 o'clock, starting right here on 95.7 The Game with the voice of the great Tim Roy. But coverage starts at 6 with E-Dog Evan Giddings with Warriors Live. Vontae Hill, Joe Shasky are going to be joined by Brian Baldinger at 7:30 coming up next on the Morning Roast, 95.7 The Game.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the